I've never used a flashlight that when you activate turbo, it feels like there should be recoil. Hey, thanks for checking out the video. We got a fun one today. We're going to be taking a look at the IMALENT LD70. This is a relatively small flashlight, but it has an incredible claimed 4,000 lumen max output on turbo. And I don't have a way to measure lumens, but I can tell you it's pretty staggering what comes out of this flashlight. So really excited to take a look at this light. It's got a lot of very unique features in a flashlight that I have not seen, don't have in my collection yet. So excited to take you through those. And full disclosure, this one was sent to me by IMALENT, and I'm greatly appreciative of that. But nevertheless, we're going to be running it through the usual treatment here on the channel, taking it through this flashlight optimization chart. And if you're not familiar with this yet, this was a chart organized by the community here on this channel. And I think it's a very helpful framework. It's not an exact science, but it's a really helpful framework to run through the light in order to determine its overall value and whether it'd be a good fit for you in your use case. So yeah, we'll be taking it through that. And let's start off with some features. Before getting into modes and UI, I wanted to point out some things just on the exterior of this light that make it really unique. So this is actually aluminum. Underneath this blue heat shroud, that's also aluminum, there's an additional aluminum body. So this blue anodized piece is kind of like a heat shield around the light itself. Really helps to mitigate heat, keep it off your hands. So that's really unique and interesting. This light comes in 4 different colors, by the way. One of them is called golden, there's black, green, and this blue. So pretty cool options. You might notice these metal contacts here. That's so that their proprietary magnetic charger can hook on. So yeah, you've got USB-A to their proprietary charger here. Just mates up like that. And actually that brings us to another unique feature on this light I haven't seen on a light yet myself. An OLED screen back here. So very cool. It'll tell you when this thing's fully charged. And it also gives you a bunch of other information we'll go over later in the video. So very cool. Moving on to the lens. Big old lens, very wide lens, an orange peel reflector, and a massive LED. Just a big old LED sitting back in there. Contributes to that floodiness that you're going to see with this light. Very cool. Yeah, some colored aluminum in there just for style points. Pretty cool. With that said, let's move on to some modes. From the factory, the LD70 is going to be coming to you in lockout mode. And you can tell because when you hit the metal tail cap switch, you're going to get this symbol on the OLED screen that it's locked. Pretty cool. To get the light in and out of lockout mode, what you'll do is click the tail cap switch 4 times rapidly. And that unlocks the light. So now you're ready to go, so long as you're charged up. And single press will turn the light on. And this display also tells you what setting you're in. So this is the low 20 lumen setting here. It also reads your voltage out to you so you can get an idea of your battery status. That's really cool. Pressing and holding the switch will cycle you through the modes. So it jumps up through all output modes, which by the way, you've got 200, 900, and 2000, back down to 20. Double clicking when the light is not in lockout mode from on or off brings you to the max turbo setting, 4,000 lumens. And IMALENT says this can go for about a minute before stepping down to 900 lumens for 38 more minutes. Just wild how much output's coming from this size flashlight in my opinion. And here's a look at what those output levels look like in a more practical setting. So this is the low 20 lumen setting. Let's jump up to 200. Up to 900. 2000. And 4,000. I actually wanted to show you a comparison with my very own floodlights that are on the house up here. This thing blows them out of the water. Let's check it out. All right, looking at the backyard, lit up by these 2 floodlights here. Pretty standard floodlights. Both of them are on, and this is the type of illumination we're getting. Now check out what the LD70 can do in comparison. We're in the same spot. There are those floodlights right there. LD70. Double click. Oh my, like just, it's not even a comparison. This little floodlight doing more than these two. Wow. Truly an incredible amount of output. And even though it's a flutter, the light does reach out pretty far as well, as you can see. I'll drop the output down a bit. Goodness. That should be 2000. And then up to 4, according to IMALENT. Crazy, crazy output from this size of light. Unreal. And should you need it, the LD70 also has a strobe mode available. To access that, you're gonna double click to bring yourself into turbo. Double clicking again will bring you into strobe. Remarkable output coming from this size of flashlight, in my opinion. And I wanted to give you a look at the manual included with the light. It's a nice manual and it looks pretty overwhelming when it's all opened up, but really you only need to worry about one column. It's organized by language and columns, so I'll just scroll through this quickly. So if you want to read this, you're welcome to pause and check it out. But there's your specs, runtime information, lumens, candela, description of the product, features, operation, and then warranty information here at the bottom. So yeah, nice manual from IMALENT. Another thing I got to mention that comes with the light that I always appreciate is a quality lanyard. It's got a nice cushion material on this branded lanyard. You get a cinch as well. I always like lanyards with a cinch. It's a little bit better than some of the other lanyards included with other flashlights that are just a little bit more simple. All right, with all that said, let's give the LD70 a score on the flashlight optimization chart. Once again, this is not an exact science and a lot of this stuff is pretty subjective, so I'm just going to be giving it a score how I would. You will score it differently based on your own priorities and use case. But with that said, the modes. So I like the modes it has, so it's got a very wide range from 20 lumens all the way up to that crazy turbo output. And I think the modes are staggered or spaced out really well too, so you can choose an output level that suits your environment or your needs pretty well with this light. I also like the user interface. I like the tail cap switch. It's a metal switch. The light is able to tail stand as well, in case you're curious. And I like how quickly you can cycle through modes too. It's very kind of intuitive and you get the hang of it very quickly. Like that, I really like the lanyard it comes with too. One of the better lanyards that I've seen come from a flashlight company. Do appreciate that. No need for O-rings because the light's fully contained and sealed. Beam profile, definitely a flutter, no question about it. Amazing broad floody beam. No emitter options. Let's see, it does have a big old LED. I'm not really into LEDs. I don't know the ins and outs of that part of flashlights just yet, but if anyone's curious, it's got an XHP70 second generation LED, big old LED. All I know is it's big because I can see it. But with that said, we'll talk about performance. Instead of me trying to run through these verbally, I'll just put this chart up here for you. So it's got run times, lumens, and candela right there. So yeah, performance. And if you're curious, this thing's got a built-in 18350 battery with a 1100 milliamp hour capacity. So yeah, that's about it when it comes to performance, and we got a good look at that outside as well. Durability, this thing is IPX8 water rated, so submersible down to 2 meters, very cool. It's also drop rated to 1.5 meters, so a pretty durable flashlight here. Appearance, once again, very subjective, but I like the styling of it. It looks kind of futuristic to me, like it's like a thruster that fell off of a spaceship or something like that. Like it's got a cool aesthetic. I like these cuts. I don't know if they serve a practical purpose for cooling or anything, but they just look cool. And yeah, color options are nice. I like the details on the bezel as well. I think IMALENT did a good job with the styling of this light. So that's just my personal opinion. I'd rate it pretty high when it comes to aesthetics. Sweet satisfaction factor. If you're not familiar with what this is just like, is this light enjoyable to use? Do you get a kick out of it? Does it have a wow factor? I gotta say yes. I would rate it pretty highly personally. This is a fun light to use. It's kind of got some novelty to it. Just the amount of output coming from this size of flashlight, pretty wild. So I'd score it highly on the sweet satisfaction meter as well. Price and availability, very available on your major online retailers as well as IMALENT's website. They did provide a link, which I'll put in the description of this video, It's not an affiliate link, so I will not get a kickback, but it's just a nice convenient link to take you right to their store if you like. So I encourage you to use that if you're looking to pick up one of these lights. And they're currently priced at $59.95. As far as versatility goes, I would say this light flexes into a few different roles because of its size. You could easily put it in a pocket, a little pouch, a bag, in your vehicle, wherever you might want to store a light. It's small enough to fit just about anywhere, and it's really got that floody beam, which I think would be good for camping, dog walking, taking out the trash, checking the mail, you know, things around the house. It's got a nice beam pattern for that kind of work. So yeah, I think it covers a wide variety of roles. No flashlight's perfect, and neither is this one. So let's talk about potential drawbacks or what could be changed or improved for future iterations of this light should IMALENT make a LD70 2.0 or something like that moving forward. There's really only two major things I'd say. One would be, I think if this light had a clip or the option for a clip, that would expand its use case. For EDC, I know a lot of guys like to clip lights on their pockets. And actually, just an idea for IMALENT. I'm not sure if it's a good idea or not, but it seems like you could make a clip that would utilize these slots, kind of slide in, and then the clip could run down this side. I mean, that's just a theory. I don't know if it worked. These aren't dovetailed, but they are nice little slots. You could utilize like one on each side or two on each side to put a nice sturdy clip on this light. That's just an idea, like I said. Don't know if it would work or not, but just spitballing. The second thing, also, I've said this on another flashlight on the channel already as well, but I'm not usually a fan of flashlights where you cannot service the battery yourself. I like the ability to replace the battery because over time, that's more than likely going to be the point of failure on a flashlight. That brings us to bang for beam value. Is this light a good deal? Listen, I don't think you can find a light in this size that's able to punch out output like we saw. It's just crazy. It's kind of got some novelty to it. But if that's what you're looking for, a really tiny light that's able to just blast out output, if not for a very long time, this light delivers that for sure. Really nice floody beam. Got a nice lanyard included, magnetic charging, an OLED screen for crying out loud. A lot of cool features available with this light. And by the way, I didn't really feel any heat. I ran the turbo on this for quite a while, maybe a couple minutes, and it manages heat really well as well. I forgot to mention that earlier. So yeah, if these are things you're looking for, I would say yes, it is a very good value. I don't know of any other lights on the market that can punch out output like this coming from this size. So it is really cool, especially if you're an enthusiast. I'd say it is a good value. Just go into it with your eyes open. So yeah, you don't have the ability for a clip at the moment that I know of anyway, and it does have a built-in battery. But as long as that doesn't bother you too much, I'd say yes. That's just my opinion though. And with that said, I want to thank you so much for watching the video if you made it this far. Really appreciate you checking it out and hope you have a great day. God bless you. Take care. Insane. Goodness.